Hello everyone, welcome to another video review. It's been a few months since I did a video. Just been really tired, really exhausted. My phone's crap. That's where I record my videos. But I feel as though I can talk about a movie again. I'm kind of exhausted right now, but I want to push through it because I really want to talk about this movie. It's a fun film with some flaws, but does deserve to be talked about. It's the movie called Lost After Dark. The Walmart stickers kind of covering it, and I know if I try to peel it off it's going to ruin the cover. I'm not going to do that, so there you go, Lost After Dark. Now, the big thing about this is that it's supposed to be an 80s slasher film, but made today. And the tagline is, and you thought the 80s were dead. Horrible tagline, I don't like it. Should come up with something different. 80s movies didn't target the fact that they were in the 80s. But, you know, it is what it is. It's alright, I guess. The reviews on here say, retro 80s horror done right, and the best 80s slasher film that wasn't filmed in the 80s. That was Dread Central. They're actually kind of popular. Now, the thing about this movie is, it is a fun slasher film. I actually enjoyed it a lot. It has good gore, good effects, decent characters. Really well acted, surprisingly, for what it is, and a good cameo appearance by Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick's always really fun, and no matter what he's in, even if you didn't like that Double Dragon film, you can tell he's having a lot of fun with it. He has a lot of fun whenever he acts, and that's the one thing that's great about Robert Patrick is he's always on the ball with his acting. He's always having a lot of fun. Everyone knows him primarily for Terminator 2 in his role, and not gonna lie, that is probably what he's most well known for. But he deserves more credit. He is definitely a great actor, and he seems like he could be a great guy in real life. I don't know him personally, I've never met him, but I hope to one day. He is definitely an icon in the horror industry. And as you can see his picture on the back. That actually kind of caught me into why I should buy this. So what's the plot of this movie? Bunch of kids, high school kids, sneak out, steal a bus to try and go to this one girl's cabin. But the bus breaks down and they wind up at a cabin somewhere, a different cabin entirely, and it happens to be the home to a cannibal. And they all start dying off. That's the plot of the movie. And it's an 80s slasher film. 80s inspired slasher film, at least. So, really, it plays out as expected. Everyone gets killed off in some brutal way. Very gory. It's actually really gory. A lot of shock, a lot of suspense. I gotta give this movie's credit. It has some really good suspense in it. For what it is, for an independent horror film, the suspense in it is really well done, and high props to the director and writers for doing that. The effects team, really well done. The actors, really well done. But I do have problems with it. But the problems are spoilers, so I'm not going to give them right here. I'm going to talk about the spoilers in a minute. But right now, I'm just going to say I recommend it. I can't give it a review rating because it's a little too independent for me to give a proper review rating. But I'm going to give it the recommendation of definitely check it out. Get it on Redbox, buy it. It's not expensive to buy. This DVD at Walmart cost me $7.88. Not a price gouge or anything like that. It is just a standard DVD. There's no special features. It's just the film. And it's a lot of fun, lots of good gore, great effects, great acting all around. Highly recommended just to watch it. If you just want to rent it, go for that too. Some people might feel it's more of a rental film, and that's kind of the vibe it has. It definitely has more of a vibe of renting it, watch it once, and then never watching it again, just with a bunch of friends. Definitely check it out. I highly recommend it, even if only one time seeing. It's at least worth one-time watch. I don't think I'm ever going to watch this again, but I am happy to have it in the collection. Now, onto my issues. Spoilers from here on out. If you don't care, if you already saw it, I'm going to now talk to you about the spoilers and the issues I had with it for everyone who has seen it. But if there's anyone out there who hasn't seen it yet, who doesn't want to know the spoilers, then stop watching it now and just know I do recommend it. But for a slasher film, it does have some flaws. And it starts now, exit, or keep watching. This movie is identified as an 80s slasher film. And it is. It looks like it. It kind of feels like it. But here's the thing. It also tried to break the rules of an 80s slasher film, which is alright. I've seen a lot of modern horror film. Not a lot of modern horror films, but a couple of horror movies that came out recently broke the rules a bit, and that's completely fine. But when making a movie, you can't have the last person alive be one of the characters that we don't identify with. It's just not good storytelling. Early on in the movie, the character everyone thinks is going to be the lead dies. They kill her off. Like I said, big spoiler, so if you're still watching and you heard that, I'm sorry, but I warned you. Now, like I said, it's not like that hasn't happened before. Psycho did it years ago, and the original Nightmare on Elm Street did it, and it did it better. And I'm going to tell you why it did it better. Because Nightmare on Elm Street, the character that it follows afterwards is a character that they build up, and the character that everyone can identify with. The character they have lived through the end is not someone that the audience can identify with. It's just kind of a middle-of-the-road character. And they kill off the characters. It's not as though it's the least favorite to the favorite that dies. It's the favorite to the least favorite. Because at first, it's the girl that dies. I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. When my friend Lasky and I watched this film, we kind of saw it as I played it off as, oh, that happens a lot in horror films where they kill off the lead character and trick everybody. But I was actually surprised that they did that. I was like, you know what, that's impressive. They tricked me, and I was like, you know what, keep going, movie. Let's have this guy be the hero. And then they kill the next guy that the audience would identify with. I'm just like, oh, okay, this guy and this girl are going to redeem themselves, and they're going to be heroes. And then they die after that, because the two that wind up living after that are the jerks in the movie. And normally they'd be the ones who die first, but I was expecting them to be able to, redeem themselves. But they don't. They get killed off. And kind of a brutal way, too. They're stuck in the car, and the girl brings a dog. Let me tell you my issue with this in a minute. She, of course, brings a dog with her. And if you see a dog in a horror movie, you know the dog's just there to die. And, of course, they're in a car, and the guy says, if that dog barks once, he's going to find us. So she snaps the dog's neck. And I'm just like, come on. If you're just going to kill the dog, don't put it in the smegging movie. Everyone's issue with dogs in movies is when they die. Unless it's John Wick, don't kill the dog in the movie. It's filmmaking 101. No one wants to see an animal die in a movie. No one likes when cats die. No one likes when dogs die. No one likes when the animals died in Camel Holocaust. I know those were real animals, so that's completely different. But still, no one wants to see the animals die, so why do they do it? Everyone just feels down at that point. You can't cheer anyone up after that. You killed an animal in a movie. The animal is defenseless. Just knock it off. If you're going to put an animal in a movie, and you want to kill it, just rewrite that and just take it out, because no one wants to see it. But anyways, moving on. Then they die. And it's like, well, now the other characters that I don't identify with these other characters. I don't care. I don't care at all. And then I'm just like, oh, okay, it's going to be Wesley. Wesley's the next character's name that lived. And he dies. And which his death is a reference to the movie Zombie, if anyone's seen that. And then I don't even remember this girl's name. My friend and I just called her the black-haired girl. We called her a bit more vulgar name, not the C word, just the B word, because we didn't remember her name, and we didn't care. We didn't care about her. She was just kind of there from the beginning, and then it's like, well, if she lives for this, I'm going to be disappointed because I didn't care about her. I don't even remember her name. We remember the names of the other characters, by the way. I don't remember them now, but I remembered them while we were watching. I remember Wesley and I remember Jamie, because Jamie's the one that lives. I think Abigail was the first girl that died. There was the fat guy. I just call him fat guy because I don't care. Then there's Sean. Then there's Johnny. And then there's Heather. Yeah, there's the characters. But black-haired girl, I don't even remember her name. No one will. She's not a memorable character. And they decide she has to be one of the last few to live. No, but thankfully they kill her off because I didn't care about her at all. She could have died at the beginning of the movie. She could have died in the worst way possible. She could have been thrown into a wood chipper. I wouldn't have cared. I wanted to see her die because I did not care about that character. Don't keep the character in the movie that no one can identify with. It's not good storytelling. It just isn't. But luckily, the character that lives through it is Jamie, and we get Jamie's character in it a bit, and she's a fun character, and I liked her. But still, I'm going to show you some movies right now that break the rules of horror a bit better than this one did. As you know, I already pulled up Nightmare on Elm Street. There's also Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and New Nightmare, but they break the rules in a different way. There's Happy Birthday to Me, and we got two modern ones, You're Next and Cabin in the Woods. They break the rules, but they do it right. This movie did not break the rules properly. It's all out of order because you know what? While these did break the rules, they still had good storytelling. This movie just fails on the storytelling department. And of course, Robert Patrick's characters died in the most obvious way. And if someone sees the movie and didn't expect Robert Patrick's character to die when that event was occurring, they clearly haven't seen a movie in their entire life, or gone out and seen the world. Because clearly, you have to be so sheltered to not expect him to die in that situation that it's kind of unbelievable. It would have been cooler if he'd been the one to. If they wanted to continue the rules breaking, he would have killed I forget, what is his name? Jode. He would have killed Jode Jr. Junior Jode, that's what he's called. If he would have killed him, that would have been breaking the rules, because the person who sacrifices themselves never lives. So if they wanted to do the whole rule breaking thing, they would have had him kill him. But they don't, and it failed. I'm sorry, but the way this unfolds is a failure. It's fun. I'm not denying it's fun, but it unfolds in such a way that the movie does fail in a storytelling perspective. I know people out there are saying that it's a slasher film. You're not watching it for the story. But I'm sorry, but there is a way to break the rules, and this isn't it. You don't have the last people to survive you don't have the last people to survive in a movie be the characters that us as the audience can identify with, because we're just not gonna we're not enjoying ourselves. We're just watching people we don't care about, and especially if you make the characters likable, and then you kill off the likable characters first, and then you have an idea that these characters might redeem themselves and then go on to be the heroes. You can't do that, because then why am I interested? Why am I interested? Let me know. Why should I keep my interest in these characters? I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't. My interest in these characters, you killed my interest in the characters when those characters just died. The storytelling failed from that perspective, but it's still a fun movie. Great effects. Like I said, the action's really good, and I do recommend watching it at least once, just for a fun ride for a little bit. But when you go into it, don't expect a good storytelling perspective, because it really doesn't have it. And that is disappointing. I was hoping for a bit better in that department. But anyways, that's my thoughts on Lost After Dark. Next movie I'm going to review is actually a movie I enjoyed very much more. A movie I do recommend completely. I don't know when I'm going to review it. Hopefully I'll review it soon, as it is Halloween. Halloween is coming close. But I will give a slight tease as to whether or not we are still here.